kind of sacrifices? There will be many people who are going to like you. There will be some people who are going not to like you. You get accused of so many things. You get blamed for so many things. But it's like a soldier. Embrace any situation. It's very easy to shut down everything and just go and keep chanting and reading. Do secluded bhajan. It's very easy to do. It's the easy part. The difficult part is to embrace those difficulties. To embrace those difficulties for the service of one's worshipper. And there is so much pain in that. When you get accused, when you get blamed, so many things there. But embracing those, then one start getting gain. And what is the gain? Attachment. Wherever there will be pain in service, attachment is disguised. It's already there. Our Srila Prabhupada, our Gurudev, they sacrificed. Their preference was to stay in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada said, Vrindavan is my home. Gurudev all life he spent in Braj Mandal. Never wanted to go out. Why? Something is beyond preference. And that is seva. So seva is not just doing arati, washing dishes, cooking for Thakurji. These are sevas. But this seva is very on a high level. When you're doing arati, there's no one to criticize you. When you're cooking at a home or temple, no one is there to accuse you. It's like a very private program. But when you come out on the front line, those army people who are like in their section, giving command or making a plans, although they're very important, but who's taking all the dangers? Ones who are on the front line. It's a life and death situation. Any bullet can come, any bomb can hit and finish. So preaching means, spiritual life means front line. It's a life and death situation. And that's why they take pain, and that's why they gain. Gain what? Oh, big asana, big seat to sit. See the gain? I don't mind sitting here. What gain? Oh, donations? What more? Prestige? Oh, famous? Popularity? These are like a straw, insignificant. The gain is Shri Guru Charane Rati. Yehi se Ikrama Gati. The gain is attachment. With what? One's worshipable, one's Ishta Devi. It just develops by its own. This is the gain. And this is what we have seen in our Guru Vargas, in our Acharyas. They took so much pain in bringing us to Krishna consciousness, training us, writing books for us. And what they gain in return? Tears in their eyes. One time one devotee asked me this question. Dadati pratiginnati guhyam atyati prichhati. Dadati means giving, pratiginnati means receiving. I give example of disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. They gave their life to their Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Maybe many of you familiar with only Srila Prabhupada. But not just him alone, many others participated in bringing Krishna consciousness to the world on this level today. There are many. Some are behind the curtain, some are in the front line. Like a performance on the stage. So it's not only those who are on the stage, they are performers, but there are many support from behind the curtains. Similarly, many acharyas, they did a lot staying behind the curtains and supporting this movement. Otherwise, how Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam could have been produced? Many books in Bengali language. And then later it got translated into English language. But who made those Bengali versions? This is called behind the scenes. Credit goes to the entire team. It's not just one. The entire team has so much participation. So they gave up their lives. And what they got in return? Tears. Are you ready for this? You give your life and you get in return tears. Everyone wants smile and happiness. Nobody wants tears. But this is a game. Tears in the eyes of all those sacrifices. Like my Guru Maharaj, like Shiva Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Dev Madhav Goswami, all acharyas. When they were uttering the name of the Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, just by uttering Prabhupada, they started weeping and crying. Because of that intense attachment. Not that they develop. We try to develop. For them it's not develop, stage of practicing or developing. It is inherent because of their giving up. Many they gave just money. All their wealth. Like Shri Jagbandhu Prabhu, who was a grasta, very wealthy. And he gave all his money to Srila Prabhupada, and that's why the first center in the city of Calcutta, in the heart of Calcutta, this Gaudiya Math, the first center of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada was built with the wealth of Sri Jagbandhu Prabhu. He gave all his wealth means he gave his life. This was his earning throughout his life. So somebody gave all wealth, somebody gave life, everyone. Param Gurudev, just uttering Prabhu and not even saying part, started weeping. So keeping aside all preferences with the theory of Agya Guru Haya Vichardiya, to obey the order of Shri Gurudev without any other single consideration. So these are stages. Someone can take this seriously, someone may take some time to come to this level. But this is ultimate. Understand? Cultivating bhakti, developing bhakti, and then maintaining bhakti. Very important. Many people in the beginning, they cultivate, they develop, but then they find hard to maintain the standards. So that maintenance is very important. Building a house and then maintaining the house. Making a family and then maintaining a family. It's a very big thing. Similarly, bhakti also. Maintaining bhakti. How to maintain that bhakti? That's the second question. Bhakti cannot be maintained by being alone. Bhakti can only be maintained in the association of devotees. There is no other way out. That's the only way to maintain one's bhakti, association of devotees. And what is that association of devotees? Not to take advantage of this association, but to serve the association. When we are in Sangha, together in community, we do get so much benefits, right? Otherwise, if you are just alone, one family, in a city where no devotees, how you feel? Secluded. There is no one who will say Hare Krishna. So, more facility means more payments. I always give this example. Staying in 5-star hotel, you have to pay more. 7-star, more. 10-star, more. And if it's 2-star, we have to pay less. So when we are getting facility of being in a community, that means we are taking advantage of the facility, but we have to become the servant of the facility. Every individual in the community should think, what should be my service to the community? Physically, body, supporting, financial support, moral support, any kind of support. But we all responsible in a community to help the community. Whatever I can do with my qualifications. Someone can sing, someone can speak, someone can clean, someone can cook, someone can give little financial support, whatever. This is called serving the facility, not enjoying it. Otherwise, always a mood of enjoying. A program is there, I'm just there. I just show up, yes. Program over, I took prashad, hello, bye, Hari Bol. See you tomorrow. Where's your seva? Ask yourself, what I did in this program? What is my seva to this facility? Every person should see. And there are multiple of services. Can clean pots, can clean kitchen. Host is already busy. We can help the host in cooking, in cleaning, whatsoever. Yes, sir?
So when they have programs and they have the service reorganized, people can go and put their name.
Yes.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah. I think we have a group chat here. So just extend your service. You right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay, now it's like I'm here troubling everyone every evening, every program. So I wanted to have break today, but there's no break. We are in a different session of break. But anyway, these programs happen in a series. Everyone is busy. More sevas required when we are so much busy. But other times it's a weekly program. It's so easy to give you 30 minutes. 1 hour. It's not a big thing.
Maharaj, is that why Maharaj fell down? Because he wasn't in his location? Is that a lesson from that?
Come again, please.
When you were saying, that you nurture bhakti and it needs to be an association. So I was just thinking, the example of our Maharaj, the teaching I always heard from that is that be careful what we think of when we die, but also put a lesson from that if our Maharaj wasn't in association.
The character Srimad Bhagavatam is there to teach us one lesson. He's giving us some lesson to learn. So Bharat Maharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam, the first son of Rishabdev and the ruler of whole planet, is the king of whole planet Earth. He wasn't attached to those luxuries and comforts. And when the Brahmins were performing yajnas, Bharat Maharaj was thinking, what is Brahmins doing rituals? Devotees, they don't like rituals. But the Brahmins, because of the situation, they were doing yajnas. And as a king, he has to sit in that yajna. But he was thinking about Krishna. When Brahmins are saying oblation to sun god, Suryaya Swaha, Chandraya Swaha, and Bharat Maharaj is thinking, oh, sun and moon is like eyes of my Lord. So I'm not offering oblations to sun and moon, I'm offering to Krishna, the eyes of Krishna. This is his love. And Bharat Maharaj was on the stage of bhav. It's not ordinary practitioner stage. He is already on the stage of bhav. You see? So Krishna himself put one obstruction in his bhakti because he wanted to embrace him. as soon as possible. So, sometimes, many times it happens, Krishna intentionally puts some obstruction to enhance bhakti. Just like Gurudev used to give example of a dam. Water is flowing and dam, they close the gates and the water gets stuck. And when they open a dam, the flow, the stream of water goes 3 times more fast than it was earlier. So this obstruction sometimes is put forth by Krishna himself. Bharat Maharaj, so much loving Krishna, so Krishna wanted to have it more close and very fast. So he renounced his comforts, his luxuries. How he renounced? The verse in Bhagavatam says, Malvat. Malvat means just like one past stool never turns back to look how stool is nice and beautiful. Means that insignificant. Not for practicing. Oh, I don't want to enjoy my luxuries. Not as practice, but naturally. Disinterest. No interest. Can you hear me? No interest in enjoying the facility. We can't hear you.
You'll hear later.
He's saying, where's the sound system? I say, we can't hear you. As you can't hear me, we can't hear you. Hari bol, Hari bol.
As a sound system.
I think it's already.
Lost, I think, very far in God.
No, it's not.
He's trying to follow the footsteps of Shukdev Goswami. When Shukdev Goswami is speaking Bhagavatam, 80,000 rishis were sitting there. No mic, no phone.
The problem is I can't sit on the ground. Sit. That's my problem. No,
It's okay. You're my senior, Prabhu.
no,
Just your devotee of Lord.
no. That's,
Everything is happening
this is
because
a Gaudiya trick. I've heard this before from Bodhaya Maharaj. I've already
I'm
heard that
imitating
one.
him actually. No, I'm serious. I don't mind.
Yeah, I understand that.
Just not
I have a question, but I might save it for later.
Okay, let me finish this part first.
Yeah.
So Bharat Maharaj not practicing, but he's naturally no interest to enjoy it. And he can renounce. And then he's alone in the forest. So what Prabhu asked question, Bharat Maharaj is showing with his own example, what is the disadvantage when one is not in association of devotees? It's not that any fault of Bharat Maharaj. Understand? Don't ever take wrongly that Bharat Maharaj fault, Dhruv Maharaj fault. They are teachers who are teaching us with an example. If a teacher has to teach student what happens when you get headache, the teacher has to express it. I'm having headache. So that expression of teacher doesn't mean that he is having headache, but he is expressing and showing. So Bharat Maharaj is teaching as a teacher, what is the disadvantage when one is not in association of devotees? If any godmother would have been next to him, would have corrected him, Bharat, be careful. Otherwise, can you imagine, king of the whole planet Earth, who can renounce, fame, popularity, honor, respect, enjoying luxuries, was possible for that personality to get just attached to one figure? He didn't get attached to his wife, he didn't attach to his subjects and all his ministers and dear ones, just an animal. How is that possible? It's just a lesson. But this is a disadvantage, being not in the community.
Had also some compassion too. He has a compassionate heart.
Huh?
There was also maybe some compassion on a physical level. Compassionate heart for the animals.
It is because that nature of a king came forth, which is very correct, nearly to your answer. The king, the pious kings, they always treat their subjects as their children. They are maintaining the children, those days kings. So seeing that one animal, deer, and the mother deer gave a birth to a baby deer, and who's there to look after? Oh, I'm king. He was a king. So that nature came forth, which made him a kind of so-called attached to a deer. But he's been covered with a curtain. He is getting covered with that veil of Maya, because the Lord is behind this scene. He was just a puppet, and Krishna is making the strings working. So he's forgetting why I'm here for, what I'm here for. So he's teaching as a teacher, special disadvantage of being not being in association. Otherwise, he didn't got attached to anything else, he got attached to a deer. And the whole episode happened. And when he became deer, he got totally lost, forgetting his mantras, forgetting everything else. So my deer need to eat grass, he need water, this and that. And one day when a group of deer came there, the baby deer, of course, this is called Sajati. When you see your like-minded people, you want to join them. Birds, they don't want to fly or play with dogs and cats. They want to be with birds. Dogs, they were very happy not with the cats, with the dogs. So everyone has their own section. So when the baby deer saw many deer jumping, he joined. And Bharat Maharaj got totally bewildered. Where's my deer? Where's my deer? Oh my deer. Where's my deer? And became totally mad. Oh earth, have you seen my deer? Oh sky, have you seen my deer? Oh directions, you have seen my deer? Like lost. How is that possible? One who's the stage of bhav to get lost in attachment to just one deer? And therefore what happened? Thinking of deer, he became what? Yam yam vapi smaran kalam yadyate kaleva. Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you think at the end of your life, you become that. So we can't think that, oh, end of life, or we chant Hare Krishna. And rest of life I can do whatever I wish. It's not going to happen. There's a very crucial moment when a person leaving body. Very, very difficult moment. Very painful moment. When the soul is quitting body. Very difficult. And that there is no any space left to think something. Only the practices and absorption of all our life impressions, that is the one which can help us in departing the soul from the body. That's why we see not only just acharyas but many devotees, they leave their body because the fingers are always, the hands are always busy in chanting. And they're leaving their body also with this foot. So maybe they're not able to pronounce Hare Krishna, but it is in their meditation and on foot. But inside is Hare Krishna. That's the practice. Otherwise, it's easy to get attached to the animals. And then you have to become the same animal again. If you attach to dogs, you become dogs. If you attach to cats, you become cats. Bharat Maharaj giving this lesson. He got attached to deer. Day and night just absorbed in deer. When the deer got lost. And what happened? He became a deer. He became a deer. So can animals, they chant Hare Krishna? Can they hear Bhagavatam? Can they listen to Bhagavatam? Do they know the glory from Mahaprasad, Harinam, Rai Raman Samband? Do they know Varnashram Do they know one Ashdharma? Nothing. Say, is it a fun to become an animal? A special case with Bharat Maharaj only. When he became a deer, he remembered his past life. And therefore, he's taking his feet and hitting his head. Oho brashtam, oho kashtam brashtoham. How painful it is that I got attached to a deer and I waste my life. I waste my own life. But I'm not going to waste this life again. So even as deer, he wasn't jumping and playing with other deer. He was always at the hermitage where sadhus were situated and they were singing and chanting. Deer was always in their premises and whatever they are throwing as prasadam to the deer, Bharat Maharaj was just surviving on that. That's all. Keeping in mind, I don't have to get attached even to the green grass. Whatever will come as my destiny, throwing remnants with the sadhus, I'm going to live on that, that's all. And then he left his deer body, then he became Jarbhara. So 3 lives wasted in the stage of bhav, when it is so close to prema. But wasted life. He's teaching us as a teacher, not that he's a failure. Don't take him as a failure. And then he became Jarbhara. That's another story. Jad means matter. Not like I don't need anything. People throwing stone on him, flowers on him, he is affected. Not getting any food, he just lying there without food. His sister-in-law's throwing food like a dog, like an animal. He was accepting that. There's no complaining. He took a promise, I'm not going to speak a word. Whatever I get in destiny, I'll just embrace that. But I'm not going to speak a word because speaking word means attachment. He's very careful, be aware of that. He wasn't speaking a single word. Getting chastised by his brothers, abused by his brothers, his relatives, not a single word. Nothing. Then he opened mouth, just look. He opened mouth when he was carrying King Rauban on his shoulder. That's the time. First time he opened up his mouth. Seeing the curiosity of King Rauban, who was on his palanquin with his guards holding him, his servants holding him on a palanquin, and he was going for Sadhu Sangha. With whom? With whom? Kapil Dev and Ganga Sadhu Sangha Dev. You know the story? So 4 people were carrying their palanquin. One got sick, can't hold anymore. And they said, 3 of them, they said, Sir, O king, this 4th one is sick, he can't move. What are you saying? Find someone. I'm the king of this country. Then he saw Jarbhara lying there. They said, hey, come up. You have to hold the palanquin on your shoulder. Then he took a promise, I'm not going to speak a word. Whoever engaged me in whatever service. And he was holding the palanquin. But this was like an ages back, and there was no cars and all. Those royal people, they used to ride on palanquins, and the servants have to hold them. And the beauty is, the 4 of them, they have to walk with similar steps, same. And if there is one little, like Mridanga, one little beat here and there, it just spoils the whole kirtan. So all 4 of them, they have to step without sync.
Yeah, in sync.
Huh?
Yeah, they have to step in sync.
In sync, yes.
Yeah.
Synchronize. Stepping. But Jad Bharat was very mindful, seeing that the ants are there, bugs are there. If I step on them, they're going to get killed. So his steps were not synced with those others. And Rogan was like shaking, turbulence in Kalpa. Like in flight. And his head was getting hit by the roof. Hey, what are you guys doing? Don't you know? Move properly. And they all got sensitive. Sir, it's not us, the new one. And Rogan just looked at glance. Because Jad Bharat was very huge body. Strong, not skinny. Then King Rogan was sarcastic. Oh, you're so skinny and very weak. I think you can't live anymore. I think you have no purpose in life. So many things he was saying. Don't you know I'm king? Don't you know I'm king? He's shouting. First time God opened up his mouth. Who's king, who's beggar? Who's king, who's subject? Handful of soil in the palanquin and handful of soil holding the palanquin. Just all soil. And then Rogan, ordinary person cannot speak these words. It's a very high class statement, he said. And then he looked and he saw Jad Bharat, Brahman head. He started trouble, shaky there. And he stepped off the palanquin, he jumped off the palanquin. He said, who are you? Naham Shanke Surajvardham Natrikasya Shulam Nayamasya Danda. Rogan said, I'm not scared of the trident of Shiva. I'm not scared of the punishment of King of Death Yamraj. I'm not scared of thunderbolt of Indra. I'm only scared of the curse of a Brahman. So please don't curse me. I'm so sorry to address you like that. But who are you? Then Jad Bharat, he didn't reveal his identity then. But he spoke, it's a long story, he spoke some words. Then Rogan asked question. And the interesting question is, I'm not understanding this point. If a rice is kept in a clay pot under fire, so fire is giving heat to the clay pot, and rice gets cooked. That means clay pot is getting heat too, and clay pot is getting heat, and rice inside is also getting heat. And that's the rice, how to prepare rice. So I don't understand why the soul doesn't get any effect and only the body gets it. If the body is getting some suffering, that means soul is also getting suffering. Because of the example of clay pot and the rice. Very interesting question. And he was going to Kapil Dev to ask the philosophy about body and soul. Jad Bharat, he gave wonderful answers. The concept of body and soul. And after this, hearing these answers, Rogan was surprised. Then Jad Bharat, he himself revealed. He said, have you ever heard of Bharat Maharaj? And King Rogan said, yes, he was the king of the whole planet. I'm the king of one territory. We heard of Bharat Maharaj, he was the king of the whole planet Earth. How glorious is Bharat Maharaj. He renounced everything, like a passing of stool and all that. Jad Bharat said, Aham Purvam hi Bharat Naam Raja. I was that Bharat Maharaj. Rogan fell at his feet, I'm so sorry. And how I got my 3 lives spoiled because of so and so reasons. Rogan was so surprised. Not Bharat Maharaj? Yes, I remember my 3 words. So interesting story. Aham Purvo hi Bharat Naam Raja. He said, I was Bharat in the previous life. And now I'm Jad Bharat. Means very inert matter in nature. Showing like I'm enough, but is fully knowledgeable of Bharat. the happenings are surrounding. Understand? Mahalo. Mahalo. Let's go. Oh, Vedanta Prabhu, you're conscious. Now you're competing with me. Now you're competing with me. You know when Hanuman, when Hanuman he went to Lanka as a messenger of Ram on behalf of Ram, and Rama started abusing, monkey? What kind of your master is having army of monkeys? Stupid idea. When you are a monkey, and Hanuman, he said, you are offending, you don't even have an etiquette to receive a messenger. You don't have etiquette. There is no asan for me, no seat for me. But don't worry, I have my own seat. And he raised his tail like a quail and said, even above, a level higher than Ravan. And Ravan was surprised, what kind of monkey is he? So Hanuman started competing with Ravan. So Vedanta Prabhu is so senior now, he's competing. I already accept my defeat.
I got a good question. I get a better one. I think everybody.
I'm not very good in answers. And now you putting me in a problem. You being senior and asking difficult question. Okay.
Isn't it true that if you accept
If one
if one surrenders, says Krishna, I'm yours. There's a verse in the Quran like that.
yes, that's for Lord Ram. Sakar eva papaniyas tavas yachate abhyam sarva vedami ite vratamam. If anyone says, I'm yours or I want to become yours, Shri Ram said, I take a promise. There itself that I'm going to give you all protection and make you mine.
Right. But Krishna, he wants us to come to him.
Yes.
So if we come by the grace of Guru and the Acharyas, to understand that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, he's the goal of life, all we should want, that we're in a contaminated condition and we may make offenses and so on and so on.
This delays, but it is guaranteed.
But there's guarantee if we're sincere, we're going back to God, right?
Yes. That was one of my lecture on the advent of Bhagavad Gita Day, Gita Jayanti. The promises of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. So if I'm saying yes, I have some evidence and references. Two important verses where Krishna is guaranteeing this. One is Neha Vikarma Shochati Pratyavayana Vidyate Salpamasya Dharmasya Prayato Mahato Bhayat. Prabhu distributing Bhagavad Gita, right? A little endeavor, Krishna saying this, not anyone else is saying. A little endeavor on this path. Which path? The path which, approaching me. A little endeavor on this path save one from great dangers. Swalpa masya dharmasya. Little endeavors only. Trayato mahato bhaya. Great dangers. So bhakti is so powerful which we are not understanding right now. But I always say there's internal development, internally is happening which we are not understanding right now. save us from great danger. And the second verse, Krishna guaranteed is saying, that is very straight. Kaunteha pratijanihi name bhakt pranashti. O son of Kunti, declared, you declared this, my devotee never perish. Arjun said, you are the one speaking Bhagavad Gita. You speak so much, you already said so much, why are you asking me to speak this? You can say this? No, I want you to announce this. Because you are my devotee, priyasmi me. You are very dear to me. If anyone dear to me take a promise, that I'll take that promise more seriously and intense as if I take any promise. There is a possibility that I break my promise, but there is no any possibility if my devotee take promise and I break that. So you announce this, my devotee never perish. Understand? But then there is always a possibility of failures. There's always a possibility of advancements. What to do with that? And on that account, Krishna again gave a very strong, bold statement to give a solace to his devotees by saying, Apiche suduracharo bhashte mam ananyata. If my devotee who's one pointed to me, if for example he encounters some bad conduct, sinful conduct, still considered him to be a mighty devotee. Go and read the commentary of Vishnu Chaturthaka. And there Krishna is strictly saying this. If you disobey this, then you will be the recipient of my anger. He's showing the possessive nature of Krishna. But many details are in here. It's not just one straight statement. Many details are in here. So all, in many other verses, Krishna is saying, it's guaranteed. Maybe not this lifetime, maybe after 100 lifetimes. Krishna already said this. Anyone who follow this process, this path, and then on the top of that, it gets tinged with a more flavor of one of the associate of Krishna, Shri Guru, Shri Prabhupada, they are followers of Bhakti Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada and all, Kaviraj Goswami. Then it gets more guaranteed. It's certainly going to happen. But it can be delays. It is definitely going to happen. Because there is no any end or distraction to one's bhakti. But those delays is in our heads. We want to come back again, to suffer again. There's already so much going on. And how many lifetimes we're going to come back and suffer again? So the process in my hands to delay or to accelerate. That is in our hands. Yes?
Can I ask you another one?
Last.
There was a young boy had an accident. He was a religious California. He was the master's son. And actually, a few days before this, the class that's changing. That's becoming a deeper thing as we go on. So, what is it changing exactly? You yourself have to be fixed up in some way. And this prayer of hopelessness, look at those words. You know that's where Bhakti Singh, the great hope. Everybody know that one? Anyway, he's expressing his disqualification, his lack of love, some different. He's not qualified. But you know, this disqualifies you to express this. You're not fit. You're not qualified. And then Krishna, he's drawn to that. He comes to save that person. Anyway, there's some complexity to that.
Now,
What would you like?
it all depends. No, it's a very good point this time. It also depends on what we are. Okay, everyone is chanting Hare Krishna. But if that is just Nam Aparad throughout life, or is also Nam Avas, and I'm sure certainly it's not going to be pure now. Okay? It all depends on what quality of Nam one is chanting at the time of living body or living life. Because Shri Jagadanand Pandit is saying, कबू नाम आवास सदा नाम अपराध ये सब जानो भाई हरि भक्ति बात यदि करीते शुद्ध नाम साधु संग कर भुक्ति मुक्ति वांछा दूर परिवार. Shri Jagadanand Pandit in plain words. He's saying most of the time chanting Nam Aparad. So that even though chanting Nam but with offenses. So there's, with that, there's no any guarantee that I'm sinking in ocean and I'm chanting and I'm going to go back to God. Because everything happened is Nam Aparad until now. Kabu Nam Aparad. Sada Nam Aparad means always Nam Aparad. Kabu means once a while maybe a Nam Aparad. But moment the chant Nam Aparad, get the advantage of Nam Aparad, then comes the next again Nam Aparad. So that nullifies. And these are totally against Bhakti. Against Bhakti means not that person going to like failure in any way, but against Bhakti means not giving us that higher goal, achievement of that higher goal. So in each and every episode, the details of the Shastras. What kind of Naam? Was it Nam Aparad, Nam Abhas or Shuddha Naam? You know? These are details to be considered in many cases, in many episodes. So it's not just one straight line. Oh, he was a devotee, XYZ. He was swimming in ocean and he died. And he was chanting Krishna. But what that name? Was that Nam Aparad? Was that Nam Abhas? Of course, it can't be Shuddha Naam. For that, the symptoms is being seen even in the living situations. So most of the time, Nam Aparad. Many details of Nam Aparad. So most of the time we are chanting Nam Aparad. Very few, sometime, in a very good, pure state of consciousness. A semblance of, say, Nam Abhas, or semblance of sometimes.
But if it's helpless, you chant helplessly. Like Ajahn, he was helpless. He chanted the name of Narayan.
Yes. So that episode Ajamil first time, Shukdev Goswami saying, I heard this from sage Augustine, and I'm speaking to you, O Parikshit. A very, very rare case. And this is not for each and every individual. He didn't set up any precedent for that. A rare case to exhibit the glories of holy name, but not in all the cases. Just like, oh, mosquitoes now. Just like one cannot get proximity of Krishna without the shelter of Gurudev. I mean, we all have to get stamped by Shri Guru to progress in bhakti. But there are many cases they attain Krishna without a support of Guru. Like Meera, she didn't have any Guru, but she got Krishna. So rare cases, very, very rare cases.
She had Sadhu Sangha.
Huh?
She had Sadhu Sangha.
From whom?
Here they found.
In fact, was later, in the last case. But she was already in love from the young age. Where was the Sadhu Sangha? Yeah. So that's the one very rare case. So a Jamil case, it's a very rare case. Only, as I said, in Bhagavatam, all the characters is like a teachers teaching us a lesson, expressing on their own to teach others, like Bharat Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and many others. Someone is directly, like Prahlad Maharaj, someone indirect, like Dhruv Maharaj. So Anvay Vyatirik, direct, indirect. So Ajamil is also one of the case of a teacher to exhibit the glories of holy name. How by chanting one Narayan, the four Vishnu Dutas came there and saved and protected Ajamil. But this can be in every cases.
He had some background worshiping Narayan. He did some service.
Yes, before he was a Brahmin or having Brahmin qualifications.
So that kicked in. That
Yes, that's true. No, on the pretext, Mriyaman Harinam Griyanam Putrupcharitam. At the point of death, Mriyanam Harinam, he uttered the name Narayan. Griyanam Putrupcharitam. This is the words Bhagavatam saying. At the point of death, he uttered the name of Narayan on the pretext of calling out his own son name. And then the second verse, the second line of the verse says, they want to speak of those who are calling directly to Lord, addressing to Lord. If a person addressing his son with a spiritual name that's so much benefited, then what to speak of those who are taking seriously and addressing to the, praying to the Lord directly. So this, actually, so this character in Srimad Bhagavatam is to exhibit the glories of holy name. But we can't take this as exemplary for us, because then it's going to make us very lazy. My son's name is so and so. I will call out my son all the time. And then we're going to go back to order. No, we should not do that.
I also heard that when the Vishnu Dutas came and they had this conversation with the Yamadutas,
Yes,
then it was like they were a guru to
Ajamil. Yes,
yeah.
that's how Ajamil got Sadhu Sangha. But prior to that, what is the reason why Vishnu just came? Just by uttering Narayan. Later he heard the glories of holy name from the Vishnu Dutas. Later.
So then like it's gonna be like the holy name brought Sadhu Sangha, and then the Sadhu Sangha with the holy name. Then it
Yes, but not only that. He didn't got delivered immediately. Then Ajamil, after hearing all that, he went to Haridwar on the bank of Ganga. And then he seriously took shelter of holy name. Then he went to Vaikuntha. Not without sadhana. He did very severe sadhana because now he got that, inspiration by hearing directly from Vishnu Gurus. So sadhana has to be done. There is no any shortcuts and laziness. Mosquitoes time. Mode of ignorance. Let's go to
Mosquito dinner.
respective homes. Gaur Premanande. So now you can't accuse or blame me that there was a rest day.